Welcome back to my channel. I'm Aslak, second year MBBS student at GMC Manjeri. Today we'll talk about how to make a perfect exam plan and stick to it. I'll be explaining it over three phases: phase of assessment, phase of learning, phase of planning and execution. The major reason why we stress out in examination is our lack of preparation. So the best way to face an exam without stressing out is to make a plan and stick to it. So without further delay, let's begin with the phase of assessment. We have to assess mainly three things. When will the exam take place? That is the deadline, how much content do we have to prepare, and how much amount of time do we have to prepare. The notification of an upcoming exam is the most common trigger that makes us start a preparation. What is the importance of a deadline? For that, you need to know about the Parkinson's law. The Parkinson's law states that the work expands the time allocated to it. It means that if you have given a particular task an unjustifiable amount, the task will fill that entire amount of time and then only it will get completed. For example, I told myself that, okay, I'll give you 2 days to make the script of this video and nothing happened. Okay, so I told myself I'll give you 2 hours and do it, and it got done, and that's why seeing this video. So the idea is that when you give an unjustifiable amount for a particular task, the task will fill up the entire amount of time and then only it will get completed. So that's the problem with deadline. So if a deadline is very large, like your exam is so far away, you'll prepare very laggy, right? So the more nearer the deadline, the more faster the task get done. So that's the importance of deadline. Now let's come to the assessment of content that we have to learn. It's important to have an idea how much content we have to prepare for examination. The best way to do that is understanding the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle states that 80% of the output comes from 20% of the input. In academic perspective, we can say that 80% of the score comes from 20% of the content. This law is also applicable in various situations, like 80% of the wealth in a society lies with 20% of the population. So I hope you got the idea. This is so true in academics because we know that there are some topics that are repeatedly tested in the exam. So if you focus on such content, you can score relatively more marks with less time of preparation. So how do we find that 20% which gives us the 80% of the score? You have to scope the subject. It means that you have to go through the subject and identify the most probable questions. If you have a set of selection books in previous papers, then they are the first thing to go for. Once you go through them, you'll get an idea which are the important topics that are repeatedly tested. Focusing your time on that will also save time and most importantly will give you a better score in the examination. What if I don't have previous papers? If you don't have a set of previous papers or selection books, the best thing to go through is running through the syllabus material of the course, and most of the time that will give you some insight into which all topics are important. Also, in classrooms, the professors usually teach the high yielding topics, so sticking to them will also give you more score. So now we know the deadline and now we know the content to prepare. Now let's get to the assessment of time. The first thing we have to do is to assess how much time we have each day. Assessing the 24 hours of your day will really give you an idea how much time you have left and which all actions are really consuming your time and which all actions you can delegate so that you can manage some extra time. Make sure to check how much time you're spending on your phone and try to cut down your screen time because mobile phone is a very, very big distraction. I'm planning to make a video on cutting down your screen time. If you're interested to see it, please let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about the phase of learning. By using the 80-20 rule, we found out the content. Now we have to study them. You have to decide yourself whether you're going to make notes or not when you're preparing for an examination. Because when you have only 1 to 2 months left for examination, it's not a good idea to make notes. Studying in short duration is better than studying for one long stretch. You can try to study for like 30-minute sessions and take 5 minutes break, famously known as the Pomodoro method. You can try things like that. Now how do I retain all of this information? Revising an old topic is as important as learning a new content. Yeah, put that into your brain. That's a very important thing. You have to revise what you have studied. Revising an old chapter is as important as learning a new chapter. Now we talked about the deadline, we talked about the content, we also assessed how much time do we have. Now let's talk about the planning and execution phase. We all make plans and most of the time we fail to execute them. And yes, we always end up procrastinating. But let's see some practical approaches to overcome this. The first thing I have to tell you is that plan practically. Practical planning means 2 things to consider: topics and time. So the best method is to take topics of different difficulties and put them in a day. Another thing that practically helps is the time allocation. You should neither overestimate or underestimate the amount of time you put for a task. If you overestimate, you'll end up being lazy. If you underestimate, you'll not finish the task and you will end up not doing it. Another thing that I have to point is time of the day versus energy levels. It's important to consider your energy levels rather than the time of the day. Personally, I cannot concentrate in the afternoon for my studies. For like 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., I cannot concentrate on the studies. So if I try to sit down and start learning at that time, I will invariably sleep. So my energy level at that time is less. And we all have different energy levels. So it is better to stick to your energy level and then plan accordingly. So if you plan that I'll study from 1 to 3 for 3 hours, the plan will be a failure because you will invariably end up sleeping. So start respecting your energy levels, and it's important to focus on your energy levels rather than focusing on the time of the day. Another important point is shifting your focus. The reason why we fail in our study schedule is that we focus only on the study plan, which is wrong. If you can't stick to your academic plan, you have to understand that your day is a sum of all your actions. You may have made a plan to study at 9 a.m. You overslept the same day and you missed your 9 a.m. study session. What was the reason for the failure of your plan? Your bad sleeping habits. So we can consider all our actions as a system, and all these actions in the system make our day. So instead of focusing on academic goals, try to focus on your entire day. Try to make a system. I'll give an example to understand this. Imagine you have a messy room and you set a goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, then you will have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same sloppy habits that led to a messy room in the first place, soon you will be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation to clean that room again. So you start chasing the goal again and again without correcting the system behind it. The best way to improve the system is to improve yourself on a daily basis. Get your sleep schedule sorted out, spend less time on your phone, avoid distractions while studying, etc. This can go a long way. When you shape such a beautiful system in your life, sticking to your plans will be very easy. Another thing to consider is start working now. Stop waiting for the alignment of numbers. How many of us say that, okay, I'll study at 8 a.m., but the time is 8:02, oh, then I'll study at 8:15 or I'll study at 8:13. Most of us do that, right? So stop doing it and start working now. Your focus should be on the task, not on the clock. If you fail to do a task, finish the others in order and keep this task for the end. Or else you will end up losing the entire schedule and you will lose the entire day. What if you feel lazy to start? If you're feeling lazy to start a task or to start studying, the best way to do that is to fool your brain. Our brain finds it so hard to do a task if it believes that the task is huge. So fool the brain. In fact, all the laziness fades away when you start doing it. So to fool your brain, tell it that this is a very short task. Instead of telling I'll be reading for 30 minutes, tell yourself you'll be reading for just 5 minutes. Then you will see the result. 2 extra things you can try out are visualization and gifting yourself. These 2 are very useful in keeping the motivation bar high. Visualize you sitting there in the examination hall after successfully sticking to a plan. How beautiful would that be? Visualizing things help me personally when I go out of focus. And the second thing, as I said, gift yourself. For example, if you have 3 tasks a day and you tell yourself, okay, after finishing these 3, I can watch that episode. So you should gift yourself, because gifting yourself really eases the stress and it helps you overcome that energy drain that you get after study sessions. So that's all about it. We talked about the phase of assessment, where we assess the deadline, the content and the time to prepare. And then we talked about the phase of learning, the importance of revision, and some practical tips to make a plan and stick to it. As always, I have one request. Please share this video with your friends if you enjoyed, and press that like button. And if you haven't, don't forget to press that subscribe button. So that's all about it. Thank you for being here. Stay inside, stay safe. See you on the next video. Take care.